I was 14, my bedroom overlooked the small neighborhood park behind our house. Most nights, it was quiet. Nothing more than the sound of crickets and the occasional bark of a dog. One night, though, I woke up to a soft tapping noise. At first, I thought it was just rain against the glass. But when I opened my eyes, the window was dry. The tapping continued, slow, deliberate, almost like someone was knocking, but not on the glass. It was coming from outside, near the old metal slide. I pulled back my curtain just a little and froze. Under the dim glow of the park's single lamppost, there was a man standing at the bottom of the slide. He wasn't moving, just standing there with his head tilted up toward my window. The tapping sound echoed again, and that's when I noticed he was dragging something sharp across the metal, over and over, making that scratching noise. My heart was pounding so loudly, I thought he might hear it. I wanted to run to my parents, but my legs felt like they were stuck in cement. All I could do was keep staring. Then, without warning, he stopped scraping the slide. Slowly, almost unnaturally, his head turned until his eyes locked with mine. It was like he had known the whole time that I was watching him. I ducked back behind the curtain, shaking. Seconds passed. I didn't want to look again, but I couldn't stop myself. I pulled the curtain back, just a sliver. He was gone. The relief was instant, but short-lived. A faint sound came from below, directly outside my window. A slow, steady breathing. And I stumbled backward, tripping over the edge of my bed, my chest tightening with panic. Summoning what little courage I had, I darted across the hall to my parents' room and woke my dad, barely able to get words out through my shaking voice. He went outside with a flashlight, searching the park and the area around the house. When he came back, he said there was no one there, but he did find something. Deep scratches carved into the metal of the slide, and fresh boot prints leading right up to the dirt beneath my window. To this day, I still wonder what would have happened if I hadn't looked out that second time, or if I hadn't run to get my dad when I did. When I was 7 years old, my dad used to take me to a massive wooden playground on weekends. It wasn't just a swing set and slide. It was like a maze. Towers connected by rope bridges, tunnels built out of wood, and platforms that seemed to go on forever. To me, it felt like a castle, and I could spend hours exploring every corner of it. One warm Saturday afternoon, the place was packed. Kids were climbing, running, and laughing, while parents sat in the shaded benches nearby, barely paying attention. I was weaving through the wooden tunnels when I noticed a man standing near one of the exits of the playground. He wasn't a parent. At least he didn't look like one. He was dressed in dark clothing, hands shoved in his pockets, and he didn't take his eyes off me. At first, I thought maybe I was imagining it. But every time I popped out onto a different platform, I saw him again, always at a different spot, always watching. He never smiled, never moved quickly, just followed slowly, keeping his distance. Eventually, I found myself alone in one of the back corners of the playground, where the noise of the other kids seemed far away. That's when the man finally spoke. His voice was low, calm, and way too friendly. He said my name. I froze. I had never seen this man before, and yet somehow he knew who I was. He told me my mom had asked him to come get me, that she was waiting in the parking lot. My stomach twisted. Something felt wrong, but I was only a kid. My first instinct was to believe adults. Before I could respond, he gestured toward the exit and said we should hurry before my mom got worried. I took one step forward, but then I heard another sound. My dad's voice calling out for me from across the playground. Loud, sharp, worried. The man immediately stiffened. His friendly tone vanished, and without another word, he turned and walked quickly toward the back gate of the park. I remember my dad running up to me, grabbing my hand so tight it hurt. He asked me what the man had said, but I was too shaken to answer clearly. Later, my dad told me he had seen the man watching me from across the park and didn't like the way he kept moving closer. By the time security checked the grounds, the man was gone. No one seemed to know who he was or why he was there. I never went back to that playground again. For years after, any time I heard wooden boards creak beneath my feet, I thought of that man's voice calling my name and wondered how he knew it.